Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Teach Me in 10, which is, of course, part of the Technology Network's video series where we explore topics which could be seen as otherwise pretty complex, and we break them down for you in just 10 minutes. And in this exclusive Teach Me in 10, we are joined by Dr. Kunal Kukreja, a scientist and project leader, and Kate Morgan, a regional business manager, both at Sartorius. And we'll be exploring the critical topic of PFAS, learning about their environmental impact and the importance of testing for these substances. And speaking of Sartorius, I am pleased to say that this episode is very kindly brought to you by Sartorius. We're living in the biocentury. Global medical knowledge is expanding at a rapid pace. But despite huge breakthroughs, many diseases such as cancer, rheumatism, or Alzheimer's are still not curable. Sartorius is part of the solution. The team helps to ensure that new scientific discoveries can be translated more quickly into effective patient care with technologies, platforms, and partnerships for a common goal: better health for more people. To learn more about Sartorius, you can click the links that we've left in the description for you. But without further ado, you're about to watch this incredible Teach Me in 10 in full. Hi both, how are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you, and it's lovely to know you're both doing great as well. But let's get into this Teach Me in 10, because I think the first question to Kate has to be, what is PFAS?
PFAS is their full title is per and polyfluoroalkyl substances. They are a class of synthetic chemicals discovered in 1930s and really were used a lot from the 1950s onwards. And this is because they have some real unique properties. So they've got thermal stability, chemical resistance, surfactant activities. So they're used for things like non-stick cookware, waterproof clothing, and firefighting foam. So very, very useful.
Perfect. And then why is it important to test for PFAS?
So it's come about that actually the problem with PFAS is that they're in the environment for a long time. So quite a lot of newspapers have called them forever chemicals. And because they in the environment, they leach into the soil and water. So they're present in, water sources, including drink water. And of course, this then comes into our bodies, and it concerns are raised about potential health effects.
And then, Kunal, where did your idea for this application note come from?
So in mid and end of 2022, I came across some information and literature about PFAS in drinking water. And this led to an internal discussion with different stakeholders about PFAS. And since I'm in the division of lab waters, and we started thinking about the water contacting compounds if they leach out PFAS. And in February 2023, the local German news reported about PFAS and how different companies in the US got lawsuited in terms of PFAS. And there was a restriction from the European Chemical Agency, also in terms of PFAS. And so this whole idea, this whole asset, led us to think about if our lab water system leach out or can reduce the amount of PFAS.
Lovely. So then, what were your considerations when you were planning for the experiment?
So we had to think in two directions. So the one direction is, so our standard system is equipped with fluoropolymer tubing and also polyethylene tubing, and also the sealing compounds might contain PFAS. And so the fluoropolymers tubing and sealing compounds are or can be a source of PFAS, and they can leach out PFAS in the product water. And the other direction was that our premium system contain a reverse osmosis, activated carbon, and also high-quality ion exchange resin, which are able to reduce the amount of organic compound, but also PFAS. And that's why we started thinking about 2 experiments covering once seeing if there is any leakage of PFAS from our system, and the other was seeing if our system can reduce the amount of PFAS which we introduce to the system.
No, that makes a lot of sense. So then what does the application note that you recently published discuss?
So the application note discussed about these 2 ideas we had. We converted them into experiments. So there were 2 Arium lab water systems sent to our partners in the US. The one was equipped with the standard tubing system, where the polyethylene tubing was in the compound in the compartment of the pretreatment, and the PTFE tubing was in the part of the polishing compartment. And the second system was only equipped with polyethylene tubing. And we found out that there is a norm, EPA 1633 analytic, where PFAS are characterized via LCMS. And we extended our study not only the EPA 1633, which is covered with LCMS, and the extended study contains also combustion ion chromatography, where we see the total organic fluoro content. We know that the total organic fluoro content, also shortened for TOF, is less sensitive than the LCMS, but this way we have 2 sets of results, and we could see if they both match. And we did not miss out any compounds, since the LCMS only shows a certain, or we can say that a certain amount of a certain PFAS is released. So we have the whole overview. And the study was conducted in Minnesota in US, where the PFAS level in the drinking water is high. And we set both Arium systems in the lab. The first study was where we connected our Arium system to tap water and see if there is any leakage of PFAS from our system. And the second study, therefore, we produce water with a highly contamination of PFAS, where few of the PFAS compounds were in the level of ppb, so parts per billion. And the EPA there stated that the PFAS should be below parts per trillion. So it's 10 to the power of 3 lower than the concentration we introduced to our system. And we can see how effectively the PFAS get reduced from the drinking water, the contaminated water, to single-digit parts per trillion or a sub-part per trillion level. And this is all below the detection limit.
Got you. And then, Kate, I'm wondering, what features does the Arium Comfort system have to reduce PFAS?
So the Arium Comfort 1 produces ASTM Type 1 ultra pure water and Type 3 pure water. And this is all combined into a single system. And this system contains state-of-the-art reverse osmosis technology and a unique cartridge specifically for the production of high ultra pure water quality. So as Kunal already mentioned, it employs activated carbon, reverse osmosis technology, and resin ion exchange to efficiently remove a wide range of contaminants. So obviously PFAS, but also traces of metal ions and organic contamination.
Perfect. Well, thank you both so much for your insights. This has been an absolutely brilliant session, and we appreciate your time and expertise.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us over.
Perfect. And thanks to everyone here for watching this incredible episode. And I hope I'll see you again for another Teach Me in 10 very soon.